Hello everybody, this is Bennyhillz back with another Vintage Cube draft, and this is quite a pack to start. No power, but we do have a Fetch Land, a Wheel of Fortune, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Grizzlebrand, Gideon, and Force of Will, all of which are cards that I'm reasonably happy to first pick. I think I'm just going to go with the Jace though. I mean, it's just so good. There's some matchups where it's not at its best, but it destroys Reanimator because it can just bounce their things. It's great against control. It's a win condition. It draws you cards. It's just super powerful. So we'll lead on that. Also, a little bit of just personal bias. I just think it's really fun. I love this card. All right, now we have Mox Diamond versus... Well, it's sort of funny to have Ramanep and Crucible of Worlds in the same pack. There's also Thoughtseize. Yeah, it's really... I think Chart is worse than Thoughtseize or Mox Diamond, so it's between these. And I think I want to take the Thoughtseize here. Mox Diamond is good. It fixes your colors and accelerates you, but cheap interaction pairs super well with Jace and just Planeswalkers in general, and blue-black is a solid color combination. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. Well, third pick, blue-black dual gold card is pretty good. There's also Worn Power Stone, which is good, and then Wooded Foothills, I guess, but I like taking the Scarab God here. This sets us up really nicely. We already wanted to be blue-black, and this sort of cuts this color combination. If we pass this, then other people are going to be taking our, Underground Sea or whatever. Now we have Animate Dead and Languish and Ulamog. So we could be Reanimator, but I think I just want to take the Probe here. If the Animate Dead wheels, I'll slam it and be very happy about that. But this is setting up to be just like a normal mid-range control deck. We don't need to be reanimating, I think, if we have good interaction and good win conditions. Yeah, I'll go with the Probe. Okay, wow, that's a late Underground Sea. There's also Shieldred, Phantasmal Image, Bayou to a lesser extent, but Underground Sea is perfect. I mean, this is really falling into place pretty much ideally. Now we can pick up a Chrome Mox, which is good because we just passed the Mox Diamond. I wouldn't really want to play both, but playing one is very good, so pretty happy to get that. Okay, this isn't the best pack for us. There is Day of Judgment, which is a good card in this sort of controlling deck. There's also Garruk, but I think I'm just going to take Phyrexian Rager. It's not broken, but it's good. It, clogs the board, protects Planeswalkers, and it's nice with Scarab God because you can, if this dies, then you can bring it back as a 4/4 and draw another card. Okay, so a lot of white cards here. White is clearly the most open color. Kolaghan's Command is the best card, but I kind of feel like we should take the Gideon Jura here because white does appear to be very open and we're likely to get good future white cards, like potentially Teferis or something. So I think I'm going to take this over the Kolaghan's Command here, even though I do think K-Command is better in general. And I think Gideon is a solid amount better than Sun Titan or other Gideon here. Okay, yeah. So there's the Hero's Downfall, but I think we should take the Gideon Ally of Zendikar here. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. This card is just very, very good. Okay, Banishing Light. Happy to have moved into Esper. Stonecoil Serpent is also good, but I think I like the Banishing Light a little bit more, especially since we just passed Hero's Downfall, and this is another way to deal with Planeswalkers. Okay, we'll take a second one of these effects. So, very happy we moved into white. All of these three would be good, but I think I'm going to take the Concealed Courtyard here for the mana. We have plenty of playables, and white is super open, so I'm not too worried about filling our deck out. Then we can't get Disenchant. Pretty happy about that. I think I will be main decking this. Relic Warder for the board. Not playing that. Spectral Procession maybe could be played. Quite a bit worse than Lingering Souls, but still solid. So we actually only have a few blue cards, but they are so good that I really would like to play them. Hopefully we can get some good blue in this pack. Ooh, well, I'll take a Mox. That seems pretty good. Preordain would be good. Verdant Catacombs is good. Elspeth is fine. Although Elspeth will probably wheel. But yeah, on-color Mox is excellent. Okay, now we have Time Warp, Grim Monolith, Kaya, Daze, and Shelldock, which are all reasonable. I think I'm just going to take the Shelldock here. I would love a Time Warp because we have a lot of Planeswalkers. But I think I like just taking this. We're going to have plenty of spells, and this is just a really, really good card. Daze, it was not even at its best in our deck because we're a little bit light on islands, probably. And then Grim Monolith, I guess turn 3. Yeah, it's not that amazing for us. So we'll take this and then try and wheel the Kaya. Ooh, well, I'm not going to pass a Hallowed Fountain. Elspeth would be great. It might wheel. But we're definitely taking the Hallowed Fountain here. That's great for the mana. Relic is also a card I wouldn't mind wheeling. Okay, there's a Dak Faden, which is very powerful. But it's also red, and we don't have any red cards right now. We could take Opposition Agent or Mold Drifter or Mystical Tutor. Tutor doesn't really do much for us. I think I'm just going to take the Mold Drifter here. Yeah, we don't have that much card draw, and blue is our smallest color, which is the color that has the best card draw. Opposition Agent might wheel, but I think I like taking the Mold Drifter here. Another card that plays very well with the Scarab God. Ooh, well, there's a Treachery, but I think, and a Path. Those are both actually really good. But I think I need to take the Scrubland here. I really want to have good fixing. Yeah, we'll take the Scrubland and try and wheel. There's a chance Path comes around. It's unlikely, but it's possible. There's also a chance Darkslick Shore comes around. So now we have a black-white, a blue-black, and a blue-white fetchable land. So any fetch land that's even partially on color is just going to be really powerful. Okay, I don't think we really need Mindslaver or Woe Strider, so I'll just take the Tithe. It's a pretty good piece of interaction. Oh boy. I would love a Toxic Deluge, but that's a late Teferi that is gonna go right into this deck. I love this deck. It looks so good. We have good fixing, great top end. Yeah, this deck is just sweet. There's a Council Judgment, which is good, but I think I'm just going to take the Seachrome Coast. We already have 2 exile effects, so we have good versatile removal. Of course, this does hit something like Inkwell Leviathan that these don't, so this would be an upgrade, and I would definitely play it if I had it, but I think we got to go with the fixing here. Okay, so there's a Walking Ballista, but I think I'm just going to take the Elspeth. Yeah, that seems good. We have a lot of Planeswalkers, which is excellent. All right, Faith's Fetters versus Brutality. I think I like the Brutality just mostly because it's cheaper. And also being able to hit their hand can be nice, especially against like combo decks. Oh, there was a land. There's a few things that I wanted this pack that didn't really wheel, but we do get the Relic, which is fine. Our current only graveyard interaction is the Scarab God, which, you know, so it does hurt us a little bit, but not too much. Bolus's Citadel versus Eidolon. This is good if we get Tinker and like 1 or 2 more artifacts. But I think I'm just going to take Eidolon because I think I'm more afraid of small creature decks. And it's really just Tinker that would make us want that. Ooh, love getting a Shriekmaw. That's great. Another, like, Evoke cards are great with the Scarab God, like I mentioned. You can take a Linvala for the board. Ooh, I actually really like getting a Last Pick Baneslayer there. This deck is amazing. It doesn't have counter magic, so that's the one thing I would like to get some more of. And then also just, like, more acceleration if we could get that. Okay, there's a Reanimate, a Jace, a Colonnade. Conjecture is okay. Batterskull. I think I'm just going to take the Colonnade. We have 19 spells right now that I really want to play. Yeah, I think this seems like the right pickup. Over Jace would be my second pick, but I think I like the land a little bit more. Oh my gosh. Well, there's a Mana Leak, but wow, that's really sweet. Now we have 3 Moxen. So this deck is looking absolutely unreal. Oh, Kaya didn't wheel. That's weird. But yeah, this deck is looking so obscenely good. With 3 Moxen, we can just drop Planeswalkers ahead of schedule so fast. And oh man, I would love a Wisp of Teeth, but I mean, come on. Come on. We will certainly be taking this. Maybe wheeling like Wall of Omens. Or I would love to play Board Sweeper, actually, especially since I think Languish and Deluge are both gone. So I would definitely like to get that, but easy Fractured. This deck is obscene. Now we can take a Balance, which is actually great. We have lots of cheap artifacts and lots of Planeswalkers. Repeal would be fine, but Balance is definitely the pick here. Okay, Skyclave Apparition is good, so is Bitter Blossom, but I think I want to take the Marsh Flats. Yeah, that seems good to me. Glen is great. Kithine's also fine, but Glen is quite a bit better, so we will take that. Armageddon is not really a card I'm interested in here. Although we do have some artifacts which play well with it. Okay, Land Tax versus Dig Through Time. That is pretty close. I think Dig Through Time is a better card in general, but is it going to make the cut here? Being double blue is a little awkward. I don't think it is. I think land tax when we're on the draw is really good, and Dig Through Time is like maybe making the cut, but maybe not. So I think I'd rather take the card that has a higher upside in certain matchups. Okay, Wishclaw Talisman doesn't really do anything for us, so I'll just take this, which is a really good blocker against some aggro decks. Okay, not too much for us here. Legionnaire is a decent blocker. I don't think Gear Hulk does much. We have literally only Disenchant and Mana Tithe, so yeah, that's definitely looking bad. I'll take a Rotting Regisaur. This is a really good sideboard option against some decks like Mono Red. Ooh, love getting a late Anguish Unmaking. Threadbane Inspector is fine too, but this card is great. Okay, I'll play Wall. It's bad with balance, but it's really good at protecting Planeswalkers. None of these really help us. I guess this could help us out of the board. We're not splashing red, though, for sure. Ooh, Skyclave Apparition versus Geist. That's actually really close. Apparition is probably a slightly better card in general, but I think I'm going to take the Geist because we have a lot of good removal already, and Geist is an absolutely stellar card to bring in some matchups. Mono White's clearly open. But yeah, we can bring in Geist if players are like, against decks that don't have many good blockers. Okay, so we need to make some cuts here. We could cut the Relic, but I really like how it plays with the Banishing, or with the Balance. I don't really want to cut any of these things. Wow, this is actually really, really tight. I guess we could cut Disenchant and move it to the board. It is good against balance, or with balance, because it you can blow up their artifacts, which are the ones that sort of like help you in that situation. And then we could play 8 or 16 land. Yeah, actually, I think 16 lands with 3 Moxen is fine, especially with our fixing being this good. So let's see. If we ran it like this, that would be for black. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black. That's okay. For blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue. I'm not counting Chromox for any of these, but I guess that sort of counts. That 8 blue is honestly maybe more than we need. And then for white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I think we can cut that and bring in one more swamp. Yeah, that seems good. And then our deck is, we don't have a board sweeper, actually. That's one thing we're really missing. But we do have like a decent sideboard, like against control, we can bring in this. Against aggro, we can bring in this. When we're on the draw, we can bring in this. This is great in a lot of matchups. Baneslayer is good against aggro. So we have a lot of really good sideboard cards. And just a sweet deck. I'm very excited to see how this plays, so I will see you in round 1. All right, here we are for round 1 against Gruesome Cards. We're on the draw. This would be a great hand on the play. I think I'm going to keep it just because of Fractured Identity. This card is just so good when you're behind. And yeah, I mean, it's slow. We really would like to draw some cheap spells, but we have perfect mana, a good mix of lands and spells, and then again, like just the best card in our deck. So we'll keep this and bank on top decking Thoughtseize turn 1. Don't play anything, or play Cantrip. You can play Cantrip, but don't play a Mana Elf. Okay, that's fine. Although they do know about the Fractured, which makes it a lot less good. So Thoughtseize or Mox would be the best draws. Not another 5-drop. I will say, so we took the Muldrifter over a Riftwing Cloudscape, which I think was the right pick. I stand by that choice, but in this situation, Riftwing would have been way, way better. So, like, if the time spends on turn 2 Riftwing with a Fractured Identity in hand and a Glen, like, we're in such good shape against pretty much anything. But now we are a little slow, so hopefully they don't play any mana development stuff. Okay, that's great. And we draw land, which isn't ideal. I'll play this to bluff a counterspell. If they don't do anything again, I honestly don't even really want to evoke Muldrifter. We just draw 2, discard 1. That's not that great, especially since my hand is good. I mean, I guess if we draw another land, we could discard one of these swamps. But I would much prefer to draw an interactive spell. Plains, okay. And Finhorn Elves, sure. Jeez. We have drawn a lot of 5-drops. Do we want to evoke the Muldrifter? I think I am going to do this. It just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. First of all, they might counter it, which would be great. I hope they do. Second of all, we might hit it at mocked. We do have 3, so okay, Mana Tithe. That's Mana Tithe would have been so good against this hand. I mean, it still was fine. It traded with a 1-mana or a 1-mana spell, traded with a 3-mana spell, but I'd much rather them tithe our Muldrifter than any of our other cards. Wall of Omens is not a threat. So they attack for 1. Now they could play. There's a decent chance they'll have another counterspell for this Glen, but that's okay. I'm still going to cast it. We could also just hold up Tithe, but I don't think that's worth it. This hand is great, so I'm just going to keep on jamming threats until they run out of answers. Miscalc, okay. Goodbye, Glen. They're down to 3 cards, though. Next turn, we'll go with Gideon, which they don't know about. I think they know about none of these cards except for Fractured Identity, I think. Man, this is going to be a really good situation for the Scarab God. The fact that it can draw cards and counter spells at instant speed is really nice. Okay, that's actually a little bit problematic because it means they can pressure our Gideon if we play the Gideon, but I still think it's fine. Actually, it does not pressure the Gideon very much because they only have 1 white source. Balance, huh? So if we played Balance right now, we would discard 2 cards and we would kill their board. I don't think that's worth it. So I'm just going to jam this Gideon. Alright, so I'll hit this. They cannot kill our Gideon. Basically, no matter what, if they draw a white source, they can hit him down to 3, or down to 1. Hit him 4-3, down to 1, but that's basically it. And then, yeah, we can play the Scarab God. This is looking really good. Brimaz, okay. So if they attack the Student of Warfare Gideon, I might just minus the Gideon again. Well, that is pretty good. So we'll cast this. Nice. And so we can plus, and then we can plus the Gideon, so they have to attack him. And we can even hold up Mana Tithe. Yeah, this is pretty much just over, I think. They're attacking for 4. If they level this up, they can kill the Gideon, I guess. But then we can just balance to kill all their creatures, and that should be a winning situation. Sword of Body and Mind. Okay, that's a little bit scary, but it's still not that bad. Oh, they're not equipping it. Interesting. Okay. Actually, I should have definitely tithed that. That was a misplay. That was a potentially significant misplay. I still think we're going to win, but I should have definitely mana tithed this. Bye-bye, Gideon. Mox Pearl was a really, really good draw there, actually. So we can go Mox Pearl and then cast Balance. We'll discard the Tithe, probably. Yeah, discard Tithe, kill their board. We sacrifice our Swamp. Mana Tithe actually is pretty good here. I'm not discarding it because I think it's worthless. I'm just discarding it because... Oh, wait, choose 5 lands that I control. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just think the other 2 cards are that good. Choose these 2. Then we plus the Teferi and play the Scarab God. And now we can just start creating tokens every turn and, save this for a really rainy day, but otherwise just keep on going off with this. And it's also pretty nice how we can use the untapping lands to make more things with the Scarab God, which is pretty sweet. The first thing we're going to make is Glen, because that insulates us against some of the scarier things they could do. Oust, okay, that's fine. I mean, we'll draw it immediately there, so it's not that bad. Teferi is just such a house in this situation. That's an interesting one. So we draw. I think I'm actually going to play the Thoughtseize. It does mean we can't use the Scarab God this turn, but I think I want to just clear the way of anything they could have. Ooh, okay, good to see their hand. So if we can take the leak and then resolve the Scarab God. Then they have Gear Hulk, but Gear Hulk only flashes back leak, which we'll then know about. So I think that seems fine. Well, turns out it's very good we played the Thoughtseize, that's for sure. Otherwise, we would have lost our Scarab God. I mean, we would still be winning by a lot, but that definitely did end up being the better line. So we do need to be somewhat wary if they go like Island, then they could go end of turn. Oh, okay, that's so bad for them. Not only does it not enter on tap, it also doesn't add another blue. Yeah, now we should be good to go. So we will make a Glen. All right, don't really need a Plains. I wouldn't actually mind drawing a land. Okay, drawing an island is better for the Glen. Shriekmaw cannot kill the Gear Hulk, but that's fine. So we can just go end of turn Muldrifter. Oh, we can also Ultimate Teferi. Yeah, I mean, this game is super duper over. So they're playing like Bant creatures. All right, sweet. So very dominant performance there. They have some element of aggression, but like a weird kind of aggression. I don't really think their deck is the best, to be honest. Do we want Disenchant? I don't think so. I think I do want Linvala, though. That seems pretty good. Baneslayer seems also okay, but maybe not great. And then Land Tax I like on the draw. We can bring in Land Tax, cut Relic. And then do we want to, what do we cut for this Linvala, if anything? Balance is worse on the draw, but I still think it's good. We do have a lot of top end. Maybe we just cut Muldrifter. No, this card is too good to cut. Land Tax isn't at its best when we have fewer basics than normal to get, but I still think it's worth it. Let's see, this shuts down their mana guy, Student of Warfare. I think this is worth it. I think I'm going to cut Elspeth. Yeah, I'll cut Elspeth. It's good. I definitely wouldn't mind playing this card, but if they're like the scariest draws that they could have, this isn't that good against because they're like sort of curving out and ramping and being aggressive. And if they're being really slow, then like, yes, this can take over the game, but it's not good when I'm behind. And like the other planeswalkers are a little bit better when you're behind. Like Gideon is just a better version of Elspeth, basically, unless you like really like the +3/3 to attack. And then this Gideon is just sweet because it can protect other planeswalkers and save our life total. Okay, I'll keep this. It's not great. Like balance on the draw is still not ideal, but we can. It'll be card disadvantage for us probably, but it'll be major tempo advantage, which is worth it. Student of Warfare, okay. Probe. All right, I'm just gonna play Probe for mana here. I think my life total is somewhat relevant. Okay, Bribery can get the Scarab God. The Sword of Body and Mind could be a little bit scary. We do know that we can't. Oh wait, yeah, we can Bribery to just. We can take out the Bribery with this. So I think we're just gonna want to Collective Brutality with all 3 modes here. Now they know about the balance. So hopefully, if they draw a land, then they can play Sword of Body and Mind, which wouldn't be great. Although it is nice that it doesn't give protection from white, so these things can still block it. They shouldn't have played land first because they could have played Gilded Goose if they draw a green source. Okay, sure. The Scarab God. I think I'm discarding the Scarab God and a swamp here. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Oh, whoops. So goodbye Scarab God and goodbye Swamp. We do need to draw some lands here to play these Gideons, but we have a lot of lands in our deck. Ooh, Manleak versus Bribery. I think I'm going to take the... this is really close, actually. I guess I'll just take the cheaper card. Bribery is... They won't be able to play Bribery for a while. Okay, they really needed to draw a land there, so that's unfortunate that they did hit it. Now they can play Brimaz, probably. They could also just play the sword, which would play around balance the best. I don't think that's correct, though. Okay, they do go the Brimaz to Fairy. Okay, so I'm going to play balance. If we play balance right now, we discard 1 card, and we kill the Brimaz and blow up a land. Alternatively, we could play a land and then not discard a card, but I think I can discard one of these cards, which will probably be Gideon Jura. Although this is good. It's definitely not either of these two. So Teferi versus Gideon Jura. I think Teferi is just a better card. Gideon Jura is good, but I think Teferi is just a little... I mean, it can deal with the sword, which Gideon Jura can't, and it also draws cards, which Gideon Jura doesn't. I guess it is a little bit awkward that... Like, they can... The Gilded Goose is surprisingly annoying here because it has flying, so it can fly over the Gideon tokens. So we really would like to draw 2 lands in a row. Okay, they hit a land, which is bad. So we'll see if they play the Goose or the Sword here. Goose, okay. So they cannot play an Equipped Sword next turn unless they draw, like, Mana Crypt or something. They would need to generate 2 mana in 1 turn. So big draw here. We really need to hit a land. Whoa. We know their hand. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're just fetching, just to fetch. Okay, that's a weird play. I don't think that's correct. Muldrifter. That's actually a good draw. That's a really good draw. So we cast this. Now really need to hit a land here. Nice. Okay, so we'll play Swamp, I guess, which gives us double black, and we pass. And then next turn, they play the sword, but then we can play Teferi and tuck the sword. If they could have played Bribery. I have no idea why they cracked their food last turn. They could have played Bribery this turn, but now they can't. That was a huge misplay. Then there's just literally no reason. They're at 17. Their life total is not under pressure. They might want the mana because they're constrained on lands. Just making a food. Okay, that's fine. I think I'm just going to go Teferi Tuck. Vanishing Light's a good draw, but yeah, Teferi Tuck seems very good here. They can play Bribery if they top deck a land. But they can't get Mole Drifter. Shriekmaw doesn't do anything. They could get like a Phyrexian Rager. The Scarab God is gone. Yeah, I mean, these are definitely the two scariest hits, and they're both gone. And actually, the Scarab God, when you don't have black mana, is not that scary. Okay, Finhorn Elves is not very effective. And we can Banishing like that. So plus. Okay, I'll just hardcast Shriekmaw. And then just fetch out a land, doesn't really matter what. Scrubland. Yeah, Teferi just wins these games very handily. No play. Anguish Unmaking is great. So plus, land tax is not very good. Play Gideon. Okay, I mean, that gives them a lot of mana, but I still think it's not going to be nearly enough, especially with the Anguish Unmaking. Take 3. And there's no value in playing the land tax. I can't really imagine a place where that helps us, and it just conceals a bit of information. All right, they play the Bribery. I do think it's very good to keep the Teferi over the Gideon here. Teferi has been significantly stronger. Our opponent's deck is a little bit scattered. I don't really think you should ever play Student of Warfare and Mana Drain in the same deck, to be honest. Linvala. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Do we want to Anguish Unmaking and or Banishing Light? I think I'm just going to go Banishing Light, which means that... And then if the Banishing Light leaves play, we get our Linvala back on our side. So I'm going to go end of turn Anguish Unmaking the Sword, because that's the only threat that, like, could win the game. Because 2 hits off of this would kill us off of Mill. And they have an evasive creature. Draw a card. They could have another sword, potentially. Hit them for 3. And now, I mean, our hand doesn't really do anything. If it wasn't for this Teferi, it would just be a straight-up top deck war. But with us having Teferi in play, I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to get out of this. I mean, I guess they could have, like, Fractured Identity. They could also just have a bunch of food. All right, well, we'll keep on drawing cards. Hopefully, eventually we get through all these lands. All right, actually, that could maybe do something. We will attack for 3. So what was this? This Man's Head would have been a Relic. A Relic would have been better here, although I don't think it'll matter. But yeah, I mean, if they do top deck Fractured Identity, then we're way behind all of a sudden. Okay, just making more... Oh, they're adding mana. Okay. That's something. That can pressure our Teferi pretty effectively. Oblivion Ring. Okay, so we'll plus... That was a good draw. Now we can take out the Drainage Hermit. Thoughtseize doesn't do anything. O-Ring. Take the Herm. And now if they want to attack, we can just block and keep our Teferi around. Man, we have had like a string of pretty mediocre draws all in a row. So it's been very clutch to have this Teferi to just power through all of that. Okay, that is not going to get the job done. I think they might have missed their window. I guess still Fractured Identity could do it. We'll see if they kill off one of their squirrels, hit Teferi for 3. It probably is worth it. Chrome Mox. All right, not ideal. Glenn, that is ideal. All right, that definitely slams the door. Now Fractured Identity is no longer an out. I'm just gonna pass. Still no need to attack here. I guess their life total is a bit of a concern, or it's like sort of high, but I think it's a Teferi Ultimate is the ideal plan here. And then in terms of ways to actually win the game quickly, we have gone through a lot of them. We cut the Elspeth too. That could be potentially an issue. Yeah, I mean, we have 5 power on board, though. I think we'll be fine. Now they are going for the attack. Okay. I mean, that's just strictly worse than last turn. Now they're losing 2 squirrels for 2 damage instead of 1 squirrel for 3 damage. Now I think I am going to start attacking. Mox Pearl, okay. Draw a card. Wall of Omens, draw a card. That's actually not bad. It does defend our Teferi. Jeez. Okay. We are at risk of milling here. Hit for 5. They're gaining a lot of life with this Gilded Goose. They've gained almost definitely more than 12 life. And they're still at a virtual 18. So we're only doing 2 damage per turn. So we're not winning based on the status quo. We could always tuck their Gilded Goose with the Teferi. That's just such a weak line, but it honestly might be the play. But I don't think so. I think I'm still going to keep it plussing at least for a little bit. So block here. Okay. Fractured Identity. So we could kill their goose. But I think I'm still just going to pass and wait 1 more turn before going for anything. Although, yeah, actually, let's take a quick look at our deck list. Okay, how do we win this game? We have Jace the Mind Sculptor, Phyrexian Rager, and that's literally it. Okay, that's actually really bad. So, as weak of a line as it is, I'm actually going to Fracture Identity the Gilded Goose here. Because we can't beat them gaining 3 life every turn. Or we maybe can, but I think this is worth it. Now they go for a Counterspell. Glenda. Actually, no, Mana Tide that. That's pretty sweet. Was not really expecting Tide to get value at the stage, but there we go. Worst Fractured Identity ever, but you got to do what you got to do. The Scarab God is our primary way to like deal 20 damage, so losing that does hurt a little bit. So now they can go up to 13, but they're dead in 3 attack steps. And we have Glenn to deal with non-creature spells. Teferi can tuck almost any permanent. And Jace the Mind Sculptor could just like Fate Seal them and make sure they don't draw anything good. We can also Teferi tuck something to brick one of their draw steps. I'm going to plus 1 more time first before doing that. I would really like to hit Jace. Sheldon. Well, that hits Jace. Guaranteed. Ooh, Colonnade is actually really good. Colonnade is the one we want to draw the most. So we'll do it like that. And I'm just going to flex by playing all my Moxen. So take 5. And we can play, we can just play the Jace now. Unfortunately, we can't activate it, but Still something. I'll give you back an island. All right, forest. That should be the end. So we slam this Jace. We have a lot of permanents in play, that is for sure. So we will tuck their Llanowar Elves, Fate Seal them. No reason to counter that. I mean, they can just cycle it, but yeah, that's fine. And then hit for 5. Well, came down to the wire, not in terms of it being a close game. We ended the game with a ton of life and a ton of board, but we almost milled ourselves. But it looks like we will get there with 1 card left in library. I mean, they could cycle their Miscalc and maybe draw like Emrakul. I mean, if they take our turn, they'd certainly kill us. Jace Brainstorm kills us. Do they have enough mana for that? Let's see, there's an instant sorcery creature land, so it costs 9. They have 2, 4, 6, 8. So yeah, they can't do it because they would also have to cycle the Miscalc. All right, sweet. Very good start. I think this deck is really fun and really good. See you in round 2. All right, here we are for round 2 against YV_SE. We are on the draw, which is unfortunate, but our hand is good, I think. Balance is worse on the draw, but it's also good when your opponent is going off, so I think I will keep it. Also, it has Fractured, which is just, again, best card in our deck. Mole Drifter, okay. That's a good way to recoup the card disadvantage of Balance if we do end up needing to play Balance. I hope they don't just play Signet here. Okay, that's good. So we can play Marsh Flats and pass. We could play Balance to do literally nothing. We'd have the same number of cards in hand and lands and everything. So I'll grab Underground Sea here. And then I guess we just keep on passing. I mean, I don't think playing Mole Drifter really does much. Plus, if we tap out for a Mole Drifter, I mean, they might just counter it, and they also might... Well, No, I'll pass. Because I also do want them to not play stuff. Thirst for Knowledge, okay. It doesn't really matter if they discard an artifact or not. Actually, sort of want them to, because artifacts are good against Balance, and then them having extra cards in hand is bad against Balance. Okay, Tinker and Soulfire Grandmaster. Interesting 2 cards to be discarding. One thing to note is that this Karakas is very good against Gideon Juro. Okay, do we want to just jam into their open mana? I don't really think that accomplishes that much. I'm just going to pass again. Although I guess... Like, they're so likely to have Cryptic Command or Commit Memory. But they could also have Factor Fiction. Yeah, I'm just going to go for this. If they counter it, they counter it. Cryptic Command would be sad, but again, like, if they go up on cards but we have Balance, it doesn't really matter. And if this resolves, then we're in great shape. They might have Venser. Okay, I'll make a 1/1. This makes me think they have Factor Fiction. I bet they had a counterspell, but they were like, I'd rather just go for the Foff. We'll see, though. They could also have Fractured Identity. Wow, no play in a turn is very surprising and very good. Because now if they make a play, either they just pass back and we have an untapped, we have a Planeswalker that can just go off, or they play something, in which case we can stick one of these threats. Fractured Identity. Yep, okay. So that's not too bad. We can just Fractured Identity back, I think. Make a 1/1, sure. Thoughtseize. That's interesting, but I don't think we play it this turn. I am going to not attack. No, actually, I will attack. Yeah, I think having these creatures off the board is slightly better for us. I do want to have one creature around so that we can have a creature to jump with the Elspeth. But if they block and then we steal this back and then make one, we're good to go. So we go Swamp Fractured. And make a 1/1. And now next turn we can go Thoughtseize plus Moldrifter or Thoughtseize plus Gideon or Thoughtseize plus Balance. Balance will kill off our soldier, but I don't care that much about that. 6 mana. Consecrated Sphinx. Okay, that is not that bad. Well, we really need them to block our soldier. Because then we can get them with balance. They shouldn't block here, but I hope they do. Although they might play around Shinobi. That would be a very reasonable thing to play. Actually, yeah. I forgot about that. It probably is a good block from their perspective. Like, yeah, it's worse against exactly balance, which is what we have. But, yeah, that seems pretty good. So do we want to play a land out and then make them sacrifice a land or make them discard an extra card? I think making them discard an extra card is a little bit better. So I'm going to play the land and then play balance. I guess, okay, so the reason I didn't Thoughtseize first is because that can influence their discard decisions. But if they have Force of Will or Force of Negation, we get extremely punished and just instantly lose, basically. So, I mean, we don't instantly lose, but it's really, really bad because I guess what we need to do then is just play Thoughtseize to clear the path for Gideon, and then Gideon to minus the Consecrated Sphinx, but it would be really bad. But right now, this balance is literally just like destroy your 6-drop and discard 2 cards for 2 mana, which is ridiculously strong. So I probably should have just Thoughtseize. I think the change in information is minor enough that, like, if this resolves, we're in a dominant position no matter what. So I probably should have just done that. We can just go, okay, so this does resolve. That's excellent. Now we Thoughtseize them. So we could take Glenn here. Yeah, Glenn seems like the clear pick. And then Ponder is a little bit annoying, and Colonnade is actually slightly problematic as well. I think I'm just going to evoke this here for mana efficiency. We could wait, and it would be nice to have the 2/2 down, but I think I just want to use my mana here. Okay, Relic is actually sort of bad. It could have answered the Glen. And now, I guess I'm not that worried about the Colonnade if we have a Gideon Jura. They chose to shuffle. That's great. Swords being a good answer to the Scarab God is a little bbit unfortunate. I guess Caracas is also a good answer. Ooh, that was a weird play. I guess they can, yeah, that's a fine play. They're just going to have to use their swords on the soldier now. So they play the Colonnade. Their hand is these and then one unknown. Ooh, that was a great draw. So I am going to just like do this, make them use their swords. Or, I mean, they could just let this resolve too and go through and kill the Narset, but I think that they probably should just do this. And then now we can play Gideon because we can play that through the miscalc. And then we need to decide if we want to play Relic or Colonnade. And I kind of think Colonnade is better. Oh, wait, never mind. Playing this Gideon does not seem very good because they can just kill it with a Colonnade. So we should just go untapped land and then play this Gideon. Oh, interesting. They're just letting it go through. Okay. Yeah, I'll just go with this Gideon. And then I actually think I am just going to jam Relic into their miscalc. If they want to miscalc it, that's fine. It's still only a 1-for-1 trade. Yeah, I think that's worth it. I'm very surprised they just let that Narset die, honestly. They don't go for that. All right. That's fine. I think we're just going to crack this end of turn, but we'll exile one of their cards for now. The Colonnade is an issue, though. We don't have many answers to that in our entire deck. Wow. Okay, that seems preemptive, but I guess they were brainstorm locked, so if they didn't have any cards that could really mess us up, then they were just going to be drawing bricks for a little while. All right, sweet. So we're playing against Blue-Eye Control. Good to know about Fractured Identity. We haven't seen a single artifact other than this one Boros Signet, so Tinker seems a little bit sketchy, but I'm not sure what their target is yet. Narset's good. Glenn is good. I mean, their deck looks strong. Their deck definitely looks strong, but our deck is also quite strong. We just need to make sure we don't die to Fractured. Okay, I think Geist seems very, very good here. And Land Tax could be good on the draw. Disenchant is good. Again, we haven't seen that many things this is good against, but they are playing Tinker, so I think we probably do want to bring it in. And I think I'm going to cut the balance on the draw. They're going to know about it and play around it now. And then Shriekmaw is okay. Actually, I think Shriekmaw is good. The 3/2 body is surprisingly powerful. We could just cut Wall of Omens, I think, which doesn't seem that necessary. And then do we want to bring in the Land Tax? I don't really know what I would cut. I mean, we could cut the Relic, but Relic is good against Glenn. We could cut Chrome Mox. Actually, yeah, I think I like cutting Chrome Mox for a Land Tax. In control matchups, cards that are card disadvantage like Chrome Mox become a little bit less good. Okay, this hand is good. It's not like broken, but it's pretty solid. We can go Brutality to take out a counterspell into Phyrexian Rager. Just gonna play Colonnade. There's no need to rush the Relic out. Hopefully they play a Jace, and we can Brutality to take a card from their hand and kill their Jace. Time Walk, okay. It's not too bad. I mean, it's good. They're ahead, but it's not like... That doesn't do nearly as much as it would if they had a Planeswalker in play or something. Ooh. I think I'm just going to actually play the Phyrexian Rager here. Or maybe it's better... No, I'll go Brutality plus Relic. So I'll lead with the... See, I'll lead with the Brutality. If they have exactly one counterspell, I don't want them to counter the Relic and then the Brutality whiff. Thirst for Knowledge. Okay, that's actually a little bit annoying because they can just discard their instants and sorceries and potentially make our Brutality whiff. Okay, they just discard the Chalice, sure. So we're pretty likely to hit something here, but... Oh, or not. Dang. That's really bad. Yeah, we are not in the best of shapes now. So that was like... They got a 2-for-1, then we got a 1-for-0. So we're well behind on cards. I wish I had balance. Jeez. So they go Crocus and then Gideon. Yeah, we're in bad shape here. We need to find Fractured Identity very quickly. We do have the Colonnade to kill their Gideon, which is something. So we can lead on the Rager. Man, would have liked to have had that last turn. Do we want to just crack the Relic here? I think I am just going to play Plains and hold up cracking the Relic. I need to draw in some gas here. Like, we can't let them just keep on untapping with this Gideon Jura or Gideon ally. Okay, do we block here? I think we do. There's no reason not to. It's just going to trade with a Knight some point either way, so we might as well just, like, not take damage. Also, slight misplay. I should have cracked this in response, so this would be in the graveyard for Scarab God. Glenn, that's a good one. And Land Tax is also a good one, actually. I think we just lead on Glenn for now. Although, we could also play land tax Gideon, but then they have the Colonnade, which really messes us up. We could play Gideon Jura and plus, but then they can kill it if they animate their Gideon. I think I'm just gonna play Glenn untapped, or play Glenn with the mana up, and then next turn we can go for the Colonnade attack. And if they counter this, that would be bad, but then we could just use land attacks. Okay, so we're not in good shape. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for us to get through all our 2/2s because we don't have any board sweepers now. I think if they attack with everything, I will trade off the Glen with the Soulfire Grandmaster. Of course, we could always just draw a Fractured Identity with Glen up and then basically just win. So we have a lot of really good draws, but... Okay, playing Plains is good for us, I think. Are they just animating the Colonnade? Okay. If they're doing that, they should probably animate the Gideon too. Yep, they do. Good play. So we'll trade with the Soulfire and then hit back, and we can kill it because of the Colonnade, or because of the Glen. But we're taking a big hit here. So block there. Take 11. Oh, wait. Yeah, we're in pretty bad shape. So we could play this Gideon. I mean, we could kill their Gideon, but then we just die. That's really awkward. We're very close to being okay against that, but we're not quite. So we need to just play this Gideon and minus to kill their knight, I think. The problem is that with a Caracas, our Gideon is just not going to be a very effective attacker. And if they animate the Gideon again, we don't really have a good way to deal with it. This is really just giving us an extra turn to draw Fractured Identity or something like that. Obviously, not a good spot for Guy Sustained Trapped. We're almost definitely not going to be playing this game. It's very bad against Gideon. I still think it's a good card to have in the matchup, but not good in this situation. I do want to bring in Balance again. Maybe even Seasoned Hallowblade, although it's so bad against Gideon. I do think, unless we get very, very lucky, we need them to mess up to win this. If they attack with Colonnade, we have a chance, because that would mean... Well, if they tap their Caracas to attack with Colonnade, then we have a chance, because we can kill their Gideon with our Gideon and then play our other Gideon. But if they leave Caracas up to shut down our Gideon Jura, it's going to be pretty hard for us to beat their Gideon. I really wish I had the 3-mana Gideon. That would be really good in this matchup. Okay, opponent animates the Gideon. We'll see if they go at us or at our Gideon. I'm just going to go to 1 if they attack us. Okay, they attack Gideon. So, as awkward as it is, I am just going to block here. I'm ready to just get destroyed by Fractured Identity. Simic Signet is not very scary. They're tapping their Caracas. I like that, although we'll see what they're playing. They could just kill me here. If they have a Time Walk, then or Time Warp, we lose. Rats. Looks like they're tapping a little bit better this time. Oh, jeez. Okay, I mean, I guess I'll take a draw step, but I really don't think there's anything we could draw here. All right. Yep, so they got us there. Now we're on the play, though. Do we want to bring the Balance back in? Maybe? Oh, we don't want land tax. Balance and Chrome Mox are really good together. I think I'm just going to bring in the Balance, though, and just run it like this. And I think I'm going to pass on all these cards on the board. They're fine. I guess Seasoned Hallowblade is sort of cute with Balance. You can discard all of your cards and then make them lose all of their cards. It's just pretty bad against their Gideon, though. I don't think it's worth it. Okay, this hand is excellent. We have a turn 3 Jace. We have Shelldock Isle. Oblivion Ring is a flexible answer to something. So yeah, I really like this a lot. We can, if they have like a Soul Ring or anything like really busted, we can go turn 2 Oblivion Ring. And turn 2 Oblivion Ring into turn 3 Jace is very powerful. Of course, they could have the Fractured, but gotta... I mean, we have an answer to whatever they do in the Oblivion Ring. So even if they play Fractured on the Jace, we're not just going to lose to our own Jace. Our deck and our opponent's deck are very similar. We both have Fractured. We both have some of the same Planeswalkers. They have more counter magic, and we have slightly more threats, I think. Which I think should slightly favor us, honestly. Okay. Putting a bunch of lands at the bottom is pretty good since we have a lot of lines here. I'm actually not going to fetch now because I don't want to shuffle those in. Although, at the same time, we probably should play this because this can get us white mana. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if they don't have a Spell Pierce, we have turn 2 Jace. This feels like Supreme Draft. No Pierce, no Pierce, no Pierce. Yes! Oh, that is a beautiful sight. I'm going to screenshot that. That's such a good board with a Shelldock too and a duel. All right, so we're just going to start brainstorming here. Get those cards flowing. We have the Marsh Flats to shuffle away bad cards. And now we can just get so much value out of this before they get to Fractured Identity mana. Okay, that's good. So we can put back... I don't think there's really any value in playing the Probe here. So I'll just put back land, Thoughtseize, and then we'll draw the Thoughtseize. And next turn we can go Thoughtseize plus Evoke Muldrifter or Thoughtseize plus Oblivion Ring. Brainstorm, okay. We get to brainstorm every single turn and it costs no mana. And they have to use a card for it. They could have a Narset. That would be a little bit annoying. So yeah, we definitely want to Thoughtseize them next turn. Soulfire Grandmaster? No play, okay. Well, I'm going to start with a Probe for life. This digs us deeper into our deck. So they have Blade Splicer. Well, we can deal with that pretty easily. They do have the Fractured Identity. Nothing to tinker yet. So I think we're going to actually hold off and just go Muldrifter here. So I'm going to start with a Brainstorm. Wow, lots of good cards here. Okay, now I think playing Gideon is better. So I'm actually not going to shuffle away. Yeah, these cards are all honestly good. We go... Oh, Scarab God is bad because of Caracas. So we'll do like that. Then play land. And yeah, I guess I will just Thoughtseize and just take the Fractured Identity. I mean, it's just the best card by so much. Then drop the Gideon. Yeah, this is a very, very good draw from us. We got the acceleration. We're drawing cards. We're adding to the board. We're disrupting their hand. We have a removal spell for their first threat. If they just go Blade Splicer, we can just bounce their Golem with the Jace, and then the 1/1 won't really do anything. And then if they tap out for Glenn, we can Oblivion Ring it. Plus, with the Jace brainstorming every turn, we're getting closer and closer to getting this free Elspeth. They play the Island and the Splicer, presumably. Oh, not playing the Blade Splicer. Interesting. That's pretty weird. In that case, I'll just brainstorm again. Okay, don't really care about this, but I do like the Glen. So I think I'll set it like that. Play this and play the Glen. Okay. And I'm just going to make another dude. We could attack, but I think developing the board is a little bit better here when we have Planeswalkers that we want to protect. And also, like, It's one thing if you can attack with this like 3 times in a row and get a fast kill, but they can just play Caracas next turn, so that's not really a good game plan. So now we'll pass, and I really don't see how they can win now. I mean, we can deal with our Glen if they play that. I don't get why they didn't just play the Blade Splicer. I guess we'll see what they play here. If it just Thirst for Knowledge, though, that's a very weak play. Okay, Brazen Borrower is also a pretty weak play. I get it. I think they made the right play there, going for the killing of our Jace, but the Glen really messed them up. If they attack, I'll just trade these off. That's fine. Block here. And I think I actually am just going to shuffle these cards away in a turn. I don't really care about a 2-2 for 3 when we're making 2-2s and drawing cards every turn already. It's just slow. And the Scarab God we definitely don't want against the Caracas. So I'll just shuffle and then draw 4 new cards with the Jace. So they play their Glen. All right. Grab that Hallowed Fountain. So we'll Brainstorm. We could also bounce the Glen, but I think I'd rather just Oblivion Ring it. Put back that and that. And now we can go land, Oblivion Ring. Take this out. And then we can Collective Brutality them. Taking their Tinker. Ooh, Cryptic Command is scarier than Tinker here, I think. Then now I will animate here and just attack. Because now they're just under a really fast clock. Down to 7. So we can just ultimate Gideon and kill them next turn. And we're still holding up Glen this turn. I guess they could play Blade Splicer. Yeah, so we actually don't technically quite kill them, but we're very close. So we bounce this. I am just going to emblem this Gideon, and then they'll have to chump block. That is also a thing that they can tinker away. So there's a forced chump block. And then we can stick our 3rd Planeswalker. Oh, they just concede. Okay, that's fair enough. They were pretty far behind there. All right, sweet. So you managed to take down Blue-White Control on to the finals. All right, here we are for the finals against _Fee. We are on the draw, which is quite bad, but our hand is excellent. Well, it's actually a lot of removal spells, which is good. It's bad against like Ancestral Recall type things, but basic Plains Go is really nice. I think I'm going to conceal this from Wasteland for a bit since it's our only blue source. So I'll just go Swamp Relic. Still no play from them. Okay, I'm just going to play the Seachrome Ghost now. Having drawn a land, like, yeah, we still don't have blue mana, but if they Wasteland here and then don't play something, that's a win for us, I think. Tundra, okay, they are playing blue. Spectral Procession. Oh, wait. Oh. We probably should have just, yeah, we should have definitely just Brutality that. I don't know why I didn't do that. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I'll Brutality them now, but I would have loved to have taken that. We need to find a balance. Well, I'm happy to take the Fractured Identity. Okay, this could be a little bit rough. Yeah, we really, if we find balance, then we're in a great position, but if we don't find balance, this could be rough. Hopefully they play Gideon and not Geist this turn. Nice, okay. So we can Banishing Light that. I think I would rather do that than Anguish Unmaking. And then Mole Drifter will be pretty good against their board. But yeah, again, if we don't find balance in our first like 5 or 6 draws, we're going to be in rough shape. Thoughtseize. That's actually a good draw. I don't love that I have to pay life for it, but still okay. We can clear out probably just the Geist. Although Shriekmaw does handle Geist fairly well. Actually, yeah, I'm going to take the Selfless Spirit. And we Banishing Light. So this turn we're taking 3. Then we play Moldrifter. We can get through these 1/1s, I think. They're not ideal, but they're not the end of the world. I would like to have some life gain of some sort. So I actually think here I would rather play the Shriekmaw than the Moldrifter because it weakens their flyers and blocks their Geist. Oh, Seasoned Hallowblade, and then they don't play their Geist. That's great for us. It makes sense from their perspective. They're just playing around a board sweeper, but given what our hand looks like, I'm very happy that this happened this way. I think I'm just going to play the Moldrifter now. Fractured Identity. That's surprisingly bad in this position, unfortunately. If they attack with everything, I'll block a 1/1. Do I want to trade here? No, I'll just take this 3. So they play their Geist, sure. Now we can play Shriekmaw. So what do we want to kill here? Killing this doesn't really do that much, so I guess I'll just hit a flyer. Yeah. We'll play the Sheldock, see what we hit. Jace the Mind Scroll. I think Gideon Jura is better here, actually. Yeah, our life total is going to be very low. We're close to that being live, but I don't know if we're going to have time. So we pass. Now, right now, if they attack with everything, we block here, eat a spirit, and take 8 and go to 1. But then their board is significantly reduced. I guess Anguish Unmaking is dead, which is a little bit unfortunate. Okay, they do attack with everything. So block here for sure. And then I think this is the right block. Going to 1 isn't great, but keeping our Moldrifter around and getting through their flyers is important. And then we can Fracture Identity to steal this, and they'll have only the 1/1/1. So unless they play another creature here, we're okay. Okay, Kythian's fine. We can probably just steal the Kythian. Yeah, I think I'd rather steal the Kythian than the Seasoned Hallowblade. Although, it's annoying that I don't have quite enough mana to use the ability. If we take their Hallowblade, then the Kythian will just be indestructible, and that'll be really annoying. Yeah, I'm just going to take their Kythian. We know they're holding 1 island, so if their last card is also bad, then I think we're actually ahead. Because we're 2 turns away from getting Gideon down, and once we have Gideon down, then it's going to be very hard for them to push through. It does suck that this pays 3 life. Like, if this was a Vindicate, I would feel much better. So they attack, I'll chump block with the Kythian. It's not a full chump block because we are making them discard a card, but we need to draw something now. We're gonna be okay. They have an island and 1 unknown, but yeah, we're dead right now unless we draw something this turn. Elspeth, okay, that does it. So we can play Plains and Elspeth. And now we can hold up this, but it still doesn't do anything. And next turn we can play Gideon Jura. And I think once we play Gideon Jura, then we're really stabilizing. We're still dead to like Walking Ballista. Or some flash attackers. Okay, so they're attacking again. We block. They discard this island. Oh, discard Plains, alright. So we're getting to maintain our advantage. Or our information. Okay, well, we'll make another 1/1. Play land and play Gideon Jura. And I think I like just plussing here. We could minus on the Seasoned Hallowblade, but then we're still dead if they have a removal spell. Ooh, Lapse of Certainty. Okay. So they have 1 draw step, and I think if they don't hit something good this draw step, they're done. Their last card is Island, so if they draw a removal spell or Elspeth or something like just taps a creature, then we lose. Okay, Thraben Inspector. That does give them 1 more draw to hit Swords or Path. Actually, Swords wouldn't do it, but Path would do it. Ooh, we're really fighting to stay alive here at 1, but I think we're in a decent spot. I guess Oust would also... No, Oust wouldn't do it because it would gain his life. Play their island. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Odonto Vanguard is fine. That's totally fine. So they can't attack, and then we get to play our Gideon. And now, this Gideon is just... This is the spot where Gideon is so good. This plus is like... It doesn't look that good, or at least when I first saw it, I didn't think it was that good, but it's very, very effective in this sort of spot. I mean, clearly, we're just literally dead on board without it, and instead we can devastate their board. So they attack Gideon with everything. We block the Spirit with this because it's a flyer, and then I'll just block the 2 3/1s. They can discard their last card to protect their Hallowed Blade if they want to. Yeah, Mana Tide is not looking great here. So we could minus this. Ooh, wait. We can almost just kill them. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But we're not going to go for that. So we will, I think, just plus Gideon again. There's just no need to get too frisky. Then we will make another 1/1 and play this Gideon. And now we're well set up to win next turn. They have to top deck a creature that they can leave back to block, but then they're still losing most of their board. They can't really pay life for Odonto Vanguard anymore, so I think we did it. Unless they just top deck Walking Ballista. That's pretty much the only card I think they could have. If they Fractured Identity our Gideon Jura. Oh, wait, no. Identity's gone. Okay, that's pretty good. They can make a Muldrifter. Okay, I'm just going to block all of these things, I think. Although losing yeah, I'm going to keep the Muldrifter around and then block like this. Discarding Ravages of War. That makes sense. So can we kill them now? If we attack with both Gideons and jump the smaller one, I guess that still doesn't quite do it. Yeah, the fact that they have a blocker is a little annoying. Plus, they could have a removal spell or something. So I'm just going to keep on plussing with Gideon, I think. And yeah, I guess I'll just keep on just plussing with all of the Planeswalkers. I don't think Ultimating Elspeth here does much, so I'll make one more 1/1. So if they want to keep on attacking and they keep on paying 4 life for Odonto Vanguard and discarding a card to that, then like eventually we get through them. We can either kill their creatures or just get them so low on life and cards in hand that we can just punch through the last points of damage. Good to know about both Lapse of Certainty and Mana Tide. So they have some counter magic. And Ravages of War is also a good one to know about. And Fractured Identity. I mean, we have lots of good information from this game. So we'll block there and there and there. Man, remember we put this Gideon Jura under the Shelldock instead of Jace the Mind Sculptor, and boy, did that end up being the right call. We would have died so fast if this was a Jace. All right, sweet. Wow, that was a tight game. We barely managed to hang on to that one, but we did get there. Okay, so what do we want? Geist is definitely not a card we want. Baneslayer looks good, although we do have a lot of 5s. Linvala is decent, I think. Eidolon and Seasoned Hallowblade are decent. Kithian is decent, and Land Taxes as well. We brought in all of these. That's a decent number of cards. Then we cut... The Scarab God, I think, is a little bit too slow. It's bad against, like, a lot of the removal they could have, and it's bad against Karakas. And I also just don't want to have too many 5s, although this is sort of a 2 and this is sort of a 3. I definitely do want Chrome Mox and Balance here. Maybe Land Tax is just like not good enough. Wall of Omens is good. Relic is not necessary. Muldrifter is just card draw, which is a little bit slow, but I think it's all right. And I do want these removal spells. I want the Rager. We could cut Glen, although it is a flyer that blocks quite well. Maybe we just cut the Linvala. Although it is pretty good, actually. I don't think I want to cut that. Oh, we can cut Probe, definitely. Thoughtseize is still good, I think. And, like, Eidolon of Obstruction, it's pretty bad, but it's cheap, and it deals with the board. So I think I want to keep it still. Is there any chance we're supposed to cut Jace? It is good. But it's slow. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to cut Jace. And also cut one island to bring in one plane, since we brought in some more cheap white creatures. And then keep all this stuff. Maybe I just cut the Hollow Blade. Yeah, I'm going to cut the Hollow Blade. Although it is the cool combo with Balance. But I still think, no, I'll cut Kythian, actually. Kythian is a little bit worse. Again, if they have Karakas, then it's really bad. And Hollow Blade is just, like, harder for them to deal with. Can we keep this hand? It's pretty weak. Did they keep? They did. I'm going to mulligan. Because if we mulligan to Balance, that becomes so good. Okay, this hand is great. So we keep. And I think I'm going to put back the Chrome Mox since we're down a card already. Although we could put back. No, I'm going to put back Chrome Mox. Although. Actually, I'm going to. Alright, I'm going to put back Chrome Mox. Against their absolute most busted draws, I'll regret that. But if they don't have a turn 1 play, then yeah, this is good. I think it is worth it going for the Thoughtseize, although they could have the Tithe. But it's still worth it, I think. Okay, no Tithe. Fractured Identity is there, but it's expensive. I think I'm going to take the Adonto Vanguard here. Yeah, that seems fine. Then we can play the Seasoned Hollow Blade. We will need to worry about this Fractured Identity, but that's like, they don't have blue mana. It's a ways away. I think it's fine. So they play the Hollow Blade. Now we can play our own Hollow Blade. Ooh, Phyrexian Rager was a nice draw. So this grabs Underground Sea. Although I do want double white. But I don't want to shock. I'm just going to get this. It's a little bit awkward, but I think it's fine. So we play this and pass. And then if they attack, I'll just block and we'll both discard a card. I think I would rather discard the... It's actually really close. It's either Linvala or Gideon. And I think I'm going to discard the Linvala. Although, if they... Oh, they're discarding their Fractured Identity. Okay, now I'm definitely discarding the Linvala. Because I didn't want them to kill our... Like, Fractured Identity or Gideon, but now they can't. Okay, Muldrifter was a pretty good draw. We'll see what we hit here. Anguished Unmaking or Balance. I'm going to take Balance, actually. Balance in their draw step is really powerful. Then, unfortunately, we just have to pass. And then, I'm not even sure what to discard here. I might discard the Gideon, actually. As good as it is, I might just want to draw cards. They do attack. Yeah, I'm going to discard the Gideon here. Actually, no, that can't be right. Or can it? Actually, they do also have Lapse of Certainty. I'm going to discard the Gideon. If we could, like, draw planes and stick it this turn, that would be one thing, but we cannot. Okay, I'm just going to play the Phyrexian Rager, and they'll counter it. And then we'll discard the Eidolon to the Seasoned Hellblade. They can Leonin Relic Ward of the Eidolon, in addition to it just not being, like, the best threat already, so I think that is pretty worth it. They're down to just the one card in hand. This is like a bad thing for them to have going. If we're just both discarding a card every turn, I think it really favors the deck with card draw, which is us. So I'm not sure I approve of them attacking each turn here. If they play Ravages of War, then we won't have any. Okay, I mean, that's annoying, but, like, they're not doing anything. They have no lands. We know we're drawing a brick, which is a little bit unfortunate. So a block. And I think I'm just going to pitch the Muldrifter now. Okay, weird game state. It's hard to say who's winning. I mean, we have 2 cards in hand to their no cards, basically. But we don't, I mean, yeah, we just pass. And I don't think it makes sense to attack. I'm not trying to trade damage here. So definitely a weird game state, but I think we're favored from this position. No attack, all right. Land. Well, if we're not going to draw a land, at least that was a pretty good card to draw. I'm glad we brought in the Seasoned Hallowblade, though, that's for sure. Wall of Omens, all right. I mean, our hand is really good. It's cheap and plays to the board well, and it's just good all around, but we do need to draw some lands. Okay, that's good. Hopefully they don't have a Wasteland. And then one more land and we can start really going off. Thraben Inspector. Okay, that's decent, but it's not too bad for us. If we draw a land, I think I'm going to play Wall of Omens. Okay, no land. Kithian. Okay, that's a little bit problematic. We can kill that with Mold. Actually, no, that's not that problematic. We just need to draw a land. Okay, sweet. So we play that. And I think I would rather just play Eidolon, actually. Yeah, this is best against Kithian, because now they can attack with everything and then flip their Kithian, but Eidolon messes that up. Man, this season Hallowblade has put in so much work this game. Think of how good that Adonto Vanguard would be. If we hadn't thought seized that, we would have been so dead. Selfless Spirit. Okay, that's actually pretty annoying because that can make the Kithian get through. Yeah, this is bad. If we block 2 things, that's pretty bad. So I think I'm just going to block here. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm okay with taking 4 damage. So they sacrifice the Selfless Spirit, and then they flip their Kithian. But the Kithian isn't too bad for us, I think. Although I guess it could be. Okay, so we have no attacks, but well, actually, no, we do have attacks. We could play Brutality to kill this, and then hit their Kithian down to 1. It's not very mana efficient, though. Alternatively, we could just play Phyrexian Rager. But I think if we can pressure their Kithian, that's pretty good. But no, I'm just going to be more mana efficient, though. I think this is worth it to just play the Rager here. We're likely to be able to find a good window to kill the Kithian later. Okay, they do attack with a Kithian, so that's we might be able to kill it now. Oh, interesting. I guess that's a reasonable attack. So we just take this and then attack back at their Gideon. Oh, just cracking a clue. That's not a very strong line. So if we draw a black source, we just win, I think. Baneslayer Angel. Well, that's pretty good. So we will Brutality to kill this. They can't save it. Then we attack at their Gideon with both. They chump block the Seasoned Hallowblade, and we discard. Actually, I guess I discard the Baneslayer. As weird as that looks. Yeah, I think I'm discarding Baneslayer here. So we play Plains Wall. Okay, there's blue mana, which could be good. Although I do wish it was untapped so we could play Shriekmaw without evoking it. But now it's going to be hard for them to keep their Gideon around, especially since we have a removal spell in hand. They could play Geist of St. Traft, I guess, and then chump block with it, or trade with it. Okay, there's the Geist, so the Kythian will stick around. We'll see if they zero... They probably should just give this indestructible, actually. Yeah, good play by the opponent. So we cannot kill the Kythian now. Huh. This is a little bit dicey, actually. I mean, I think we just play this in pass, but now we're taking a big hit from the... We're taking 4 from the Geist in the air. Yeah, we need to top deck something now, because they can hit us down to 4 with the Geist, and giving the indestructible with this. And then, even if we can kill the Gideon, but then they'll still just have this around, and they'll be able to kill us with a flyer. So we need to top deck something this turn. And there's not many things we could top deck. I mean, I guess anything with flying would do it. Maybe we should have gained life with the Brutality, but we didn't know they had the Geist. But I think we're, assuming they play correctly, then I think we're pretty unfavored from this position. Let's just top deck Gideon Jurat. That'd be so nice. Man, I do wish we had the Baneslayer, actually. If we had discarded this Freakmaw instead of the Baneslayer. This is like, yeah, they found the right line, too. Ah, now we're just, like, actually really behind. This was the only thing that would make that would punish us for not discarding the Shriekmaw. So, this happens, we block here, and now we have 1 draw step. Balance doesn't do it. Moldrifter is gone. Gideon Jura does it. Fractured Identity does not do it. Yeah, I think we're in really bad shape. All right, the main draw here is Kythian. Or is Gideon. All right, well, we don't hit it. So, tough game. I really thought we were going to win that one. But they do take us down. I think they played very well, so props to them. Oh, we had some bricks coming up, too. Dang, that's frustrating. Hard to say, like, maybe we could have won if we... Yeah, there's probably lines we could have taken to win there. But it is what it is. Do we want to bring in anything else? The Kythian? I don't think so. I mean, maybe we should play the Scarab God. It does seem pretty good. But then what are we cutting? I really like all of these cards. Linvala does seem very good against their deck. Maybe it's actually Glenn. Although, it's also good. Actually, I'm going to cut Anguished Unmaking. Losing 3 life is really bad. Alright, this hand is pretty good. It's not the best, but we have turn 2 Shriekmaw, and we have, and then, yeah, Baneslayer is just, like, a great card in the matchup. Well, Thraben Inspector is the worst card to see for this sort of hand. Oh, man. Okay, well, this is not going well so far. White actually has a lot of creatures that really don't line up very well against removal. Or they, like, don't line up well for the removal player. Okay, no play is good for us. Marsh Flats, okay, I'll just fetch up the Hallowed Fountain. Containment Priest. Okay. I think we're just going to evoke Shriekmaw on the Containment Priest. Line of Obstruction. Okay, that's a decent card against us overall, but hopefully, I mean, we're really just all in on this Baneslayer Angel, which isn't a bad thing to be all in on, if I do say so myself. Wall of Omens was an amazing draw there. Wow, that was great. So we play the wall. And then evoke Shriekmaw. And I think I am going to kill the Containment Priest here because they could have some combos with it, like Parallax Wave. Oh, they tied this? Okay, that's fine. That's actually, yeah, that's totally fine. Now we can play Baneslayer. They could have Fractured Identity for the Baneslayer. I think I'm actually going to play Scarab God first. So we take 3. That's not too bad. Flicker Wisp. So they should have... Wait, that's... Oh, I feel bad for the opponent. That does not work how they want it to. So now we can play... I think I'm just going to play the Baneslayer here. So I was afraid of the Flicker Wisp. But now that that's gone, I mean, I guess it is really, really bad if they have land Fractured Identity. I guess it's a little safer just to play the Scarab God. This means we're going to take an extra hit this turn. But from the Flicker Wisp. But then we can copy Shriekmaw and kill their Flicker Wisp. And if they have the Fractured Identity, then we can play Baneslayer Angel, and Baneslayer will be really good. And they won't be able to use the Scarab God ability. Okay, if that's all they're doing, that's totally fine. So we could use the Shriekmaw in response, to hit them for 1 and scry 1. But I think I would rather just like go like this, and we can kill like an Archangel Avacyn or something if they play that now. So I'll play this. I don't really love going down to 8, but I think it's okay. And now, do we want to attack for 5, actually? No, I think we do. I do want to pressure them somewhat and not just give them like too many draw steps. And we can kill them pretty quickly because we're going to make a 4/4 unblockable end of turn that kills one of their guys. And then they'll take 1 in their upkeep. Okay, they just cracked the clue. That's not very scary. Okay, so I'll make this. And then luckily this is a token, so it does not get shut down by the Containment Priest. So we kill this. Archangel Avacyn. Okay. That's a little bit problematic, actually. I mean, now it just means we're going to win unless they have Fractured Identity. Which is already sort of true, but it's even more true now. It would be really nice if we drew a removal spell. Eidolon does not do much, so I'll just bottom that. Chromox also does not do much. So if this flips, it deals 3 damage to each other creature and each planeswalker. I think that helps us. So I kind of want to attack with both of these 2 creatures on the ground. I mean, I don't think, in a sense, it doesn't really matter. I think basically we can't beat a Fractured Identity, and they can't beat anything else. Or they can't win if they don't have that. We have 2 ground blockers back either way. If they flip their Archangel Avacyn, it still dies to our Baneslayer Angel, and it's still a lethal attacker, and it doesn't really kill anything that we care about, so I think it is worth it to attack here. Yeah. Okay, they just take it. And then we play the Angel and hope for the best. They're certainly dead if they don't kill me this turn. So it's just this one turn if they have it. Yeah, it's always a little bit rough, the trophy, to come down to this. Even if it's Swords to Plowshares, I think we win. Because we go to 10 and then down to 7 and then take 7, so we survive. But Fractured Identity or Path or... I mean, those are the only things that we haven't even seen the Path. So Fractured Identity is the only card we've seen that kills us here. Okay, Student of Warfare does not. And I think if they had the Fracture, they would have just slammed it. Like, now they die to Tithe or Daze, so I really don't think they would just play a random Student of Warfare and then play Fractured. So I think that means we're in the clear. And then they just die, because they take 1 from the Scarab God trigger in our upkeep, and then this has Fear, so they cannot block except with black creatures. Okay, if they're leveling this up, I think we're good to go. Oh man, that was a crazy game. Oh, it feels good. That's also back-to-back trophies for me, which is always fun. I'll pull up the deck list. So this was our deck. It was really, really sweet. We got the trophy, which is always fun. But it was just a very, very good deck. We had like really good fixing, including Shelduck Isle and Colonnade for some nice value lands. We had balance with 3 Moxen and a Relic, which was excellent. And then we had really, really good flexible removal, like Anguish Unmaking, Oblivion Ring, Banishing Light. That can deal with anything. We had the power cards of Jace, Fractured Identity, Teferi, Scarab God. Yeah, this deck really just had it all. And then also like a lot of good white sideboard cards. It was missing 1 board sweeper, but even without that, it had enough removal and like creatures of our own that we were able to get there. So got the trophy. Feels pretty good. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.